Good morning, Year 3. It's good to see you all. I wanted to start off today with something that was sent to me by Julia and her mum. So big thank you to Julia and her mum, because I think you guys are all going to love this. Obviously, you've all been working really hard this week on your persuasive leaflet for the Great Exhibition. And we're going to be continuing with that today. We're going to be doing a bit of editing of that. But I think something that A is going to really help with that, and B is something I think you're going to really enjoy first of all, is this link. Now you can find it in the description box below, but I'll show you a little kind of brief preview here. It is a fantastic website where there is this digital reconstruction of, what's this? It's the Great Exhibition, isn't it? And bearing in mind, it was 1851, there's not a huge amount of photographic evidence of it. There's not a great quantity of sort of really good quality pictures or anything. This is, I think, the absolute best way to imagine that we're there and sort of experience a little bit of what it would have been like. And not only can you sort of see pictures of it, but you can actually move through the exhibition. There are different sort of parts to it. It's almost like a little video game here. And along the way, there are little information buttons here where we can find out a little bit more about it, and you can find out some extra information. And isn't this just incredible? It's brilliant, isn't it? You can move around the screen, you can see what's going on. Here's one of those trees that we know was built around, so that it's kind of inside the building. And all around, you can move around, you can see different parts of it, you can step into different parts of the exhibition. And I just love this. Isn't it fantastic? And I love that there's little sort of pictures and things we can see along the way. Oh, it's just a fantastic resource. And I think this is going to be a really great way to start our lesson today. So pause me, spend a little bit of time on this website and just sort of explore and enjoy. Because I know, actually, not only will it be really, really fun, I think you're probably going to find something out which you didn't already know. And actually, that is something you could add into your work today. So again, a huge thank you to Julia and her mum for sending that across, because I think that's a great thing that lots of other people are going to enjoy. And I think it's going to really help us out today. Okay then, so hopefully you've had a good chance to explore that and you're back here with me. We are going to be today thinking about editing and improving our persuasive leaflet. So you've been working really, really hard on this at home, and hopefully yesterday you managed to finish. If you didn't and you're still going at it, obviously spend a little bit of time this morning doing that. But today we're going to focus on editing and improving our work. So this is a case of making it the best it can possibly be now. So I know that you've finished off all of these different stages. It's now time for us to do a little bit of peer feedback, and then off the back of that, some editing. Now, we've done this a few times as part of our home learning, so I'm hoping you're kind of up to speed on this and you know what you're doing with it. If you've got a brother or sister around, particularly if they're a sort of slightly grumpy teenager, great person to be doing this with. If you've got a willing mum or dad, fantastic. Maybe it's a sort of grand or granddad at home. If you've got someone nearby that can help, amazing. Say please and thank you. But if you've got someone nearby, brilliant. If not, you can do this by yourself. You can actually do your sort of peer feedback for yourself. You can assess your own work on this. Now, as I always say, it doesn't mean that you don't need to do any work and you can put your feet up and just leave mum or dad to fill this in. What you are going to do is point out to them exactly where you think you have used all these different features. So there's a few different parts for today. First of all, our first bit, you are going to have a go at finding and copying a sentence which uses each of those 7 features. Now, these are the 7 persuasive features we've spent the most time working on this week. These are the things which we've been really trying to use and apply in our writing. And I want you to go through your work and point out to mum, dad, brother or sister, whoever your peer here is. I'd like you to point out to them exactly where you've used these features, and you're going to together find a place where you've done it. Now, if while going through it, you think, oh, do you know, I didn't use any alliteration. Now's a great time to try to edit and improve it and put some in. Next, once you've found those 7 features, and hopefully you've got them, now there's 2 other things I'd like you to hunt for as well. Now, these aren't things that I've actually explicitly said, oh, you know, you must use these in this piece of writing, but they are things we have learnt previously, that we've done in previous units this year, and that I think should be now part of our kind of repertoire, things that we are using in our literacy. And I wonder how many of us maybe forgot to add some of these in. It's completely okay if you did, that's completely fine. You were probably really focused on your 7 persuasive features. But again, if you suddenly realize, I completely forgot to use any frontal adverbials, maybe now would be a good time to go and put some in. Now, we're not just doing that for the sake of it. We're not just doing it because Mr. Vass said so. We know that these are really good ways to improve our writing, and particularly frontal adverbials. If you look through your work and actually you realize you've started every single sentence with the Great Exhibition, for example, or you've started every single sentence with, you know, in 80, or frontal adverbial. If you've started every single sentence in the same way, though, you can go in and actually think, right, I'm going to add some variety to my sentences. Because as a reader, and I assure you, I read a lot of kids' writing, it can get really boring if you're reading it and then every single sentence starts in the same sort of way. If every single sentence starts we know that's not so entertaining or enjoyable for our reader. So this would be a great thing to include, wouldn't it? If you find that lots of your work is starting in the same way or it's getting a bit samey, why not go back and put in some frontal adverbials? That's going to make it much more interesting and enjoyable for your reader to get through. I've put at the bottom here as well, if you've got a particularly kind mum or dad or brother or sister that's willing to do this, I'd love a little reader's comment as well. So what did mum or dad or brother or sister think of it? Was it a persuasive piece of writing? What made it persuasive? Did you employ lots of these features? Did you make it sound really convincing like it was 1851 and you were there in the Victorian times writing this? Was there anything else that actually you could have mentioned or could have improved upon? And if you get some really good advice on that, again, why not go back and actually add bits in? If mum or dad says, oh, do you know what? I'd really like to have found out more about what was actually inside it. Maybe you didn't spend that long talking about the inventions. Well, why not go and add it in now? Today is the time where you're going to make this the best it can possibly be. Editing, I'll talk more about this tomorrow, actually, the idea of sort of the writing process. But yesterday it was all about proofreading. And when we're proofreading, really, we're just looking for those, what I'd call kind of like, I might even call them silly mistakes, you know, maybe a missing capital letter, maybe we've written a word twice and we only meant to write it once. It's those little things that they're quite small, they're quite easy to spot, and, you know, we know to do better. Editing, the stage we're at today, is actually about thinking a little bit more deeply than that. It's not just those little surface level mistakes, which, you know, maybe we got a bit tired and we missed off a full stop or something. It's actually about the quality of our writing and thinking, can we really make this the best it can be? Can we ensure that we are using our full repertoire of features and techniques? Have we made it persuasive enough? Have we mentioned some particular things that we wanted to mention? It's about the quality and depth of our writing. So I think today is a really good opportunity to make this a really high quality piece of writing. I know last time we did our workhouse diary, I said, I think you can make this the best piece of writing you've ever done in year 3. And why not actually have that same aspiration today? Why not think, yeah, I want this to be the best piece of writing I've ever done? I think that's achievable. So good luck with that today. And I cannot wait to see the results. Tomorrow, we're going to actually turn this into a kind of real proper leaflet. And so I will see you back there for that. Have fun, everyone. Enjoy.